Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 1991 edition of Mount Carmel Area Red Tornado Football. We're here on the field, of course, as is our custom. In the beginning of the season, we faced the Tamaqua Blue Raiders as our first game. With us here is, of course, Coach Jazz Dimnick. And, Coach, before I ask you the usual questions about the game and the team, I first want to go over one small item that happened during the summer. I know that some of you have probably caught this in the print media, in the newspapers. It's been all over, and it's all over the district, and the town has been talking about it. But I want to once again remind everyone that Coach Dimnick was inducted into the Pennsylvania Coaches Hall of Fame this year. And what's notable about that is that Coach Dimnick was the second active coach ever inducted into the Hall of Fame while still coaching, and he was nominated for induction by the first active coach. And that's quite an accomplishment. Coach Dimnick has 255 total wins at Mount Carmel area for 278 total wins altogether as a head coach. He's right now leading Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes, which are 6th in the nation in total wins. This is Jazz's 30th year at Mount Carmel area. That's a feat in itself, Jazz. I didn't realize that we were talking about it today. And let me just say before we go into the rest of this that I want to say, of course, congratulations. And that's from myself, from everybody in the athletic community here in Mount Carmel area, and, of course, the entire district all around. You shake your hand there and say thank you also.
Thank you very much, Warren.
There's a lot of thrills, a lot of action, a lot of good times, a lot of pride in those 30 years, and we're looking forward to another 30 years, you know.
Well, I like to do that, but who knows how long I'll be around.
Well, we're going to keep hoping you're sticking around here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get onto the Tamaqua Blue Raiders, and of course we look back to last year, and you had to be disappointed. We went into a game last year. They were a tough team, and they took the game to us, and they beat us. What do you see from Tamaqua area this year?
Well, I see the same kind of team they had last year. That most of those kids are back. They beat us last year. Most of them are back. They had a great year. They wound up 8-3. They've got a lot of pride in their program now. Whitey Williams has done a great job with them bringing it back, and they're ready to go for another banner year. So we really have a tough job ahead of us tonight.
Okay, one of the questions that I'm sure on a lot of people's mind as they sit in the stadium, it begins to fill up tonight, is the weather. My God, it's so hot and muggy, and how do you think that's going to affect the play tonight?
Well, I don't know how it'll affect Tamaqua. I think, personally, I think our kids could handle it. They've done well in the hot weather, like we scrimmaged down at Wilson and in West Lawn, and we did a great job as far as conditioning was concerned. So I think our kids will be able to handle it. They're going to get hot, and they're going to be overheated, and they're going to be tired, but I think they can do a pretty good job with it.
Okay, as we go into the first game, of course, there are some injuries, I understand. Maybe you want to quickly go over the injuries and who we may not see tonight playing.
Well, definitely we probably won't see him for the rest of the year. Sam Mazza tested he was going to be a starting tight end and starting linebacker. He got a dislocated knee, tore some ligaments in there, so he's got a real severe injury. The other one, Eric Trockey, he was hurt in the last scrimmage. He got an ankle twist, and he's definitely out tonight. He won't see any action at all, and hopefully he'll be back next week. Bolick will start tonight. Jamie Bolick will start tonight. He had an ankle injury a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, I should say. Didn't practice for one solid week, and he practiced this week, but on a limited basis. Other than that, we have some, minor bumps and bruises, but the kids will play. The rest will play. Of
course, now one of the last questions I'll ask you before the team goes in, and we're looking at, I'm sure, the same offense, same defense that we've been used to for 30 years here with some minor changes. But, of course, this year there's a pretty big difference, we understand, at quarterback, where I understand a freshman's going to start at quarterback in this game.
Well, I guess you understand it right, Warren. Yeah, we are going with Mike Higgins. Mike's a talented quarterback. He had a little bit of an edge as we decided over Bobby Veach. But both of them will play. There are two quarterbacks, freshman and sophomore. They'll both see action. And it's just a matter of, getting some game experience and see how well they perform. But they're going to be keys tonight for us. And I know they'll have some rough times out there. They're only, young, no experience on a varsity level. So they'll have their hands full. And I'm just hoping that they can come through for us in a respectable manner.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, as is our custom, we had the opposing team's coach here for a short interview. Of course, he is Coach Whitey Williams of the Tamaqua area Blue Raiders. Coach, let me ask you a couple of questions. I talked with Jazz a couple of minutes ago, and one of the questions I asked him were about the heat. And, of course, it's so hot and muggy out here. Do you think that's going to affect the kind of play we have tonight?
Well, with the size of both offensive lines, I'm sure that through the course of the game, it's going to have some bearing on our conditioning at the end. We're hoping that we have enough depth to get into that fourth quarter, and hopefully at that time it'll be a close ball game. But it's definitely going to be a factor for both teams.
Okay, last year, as we remember, of course, some people said we went up to Tamaqua and were surprised, but it turned out later in the year that you had a fine squad that was winning, right down the line. So it was no surprise at all. We were beaten by a very, very good team. And I see in the papers, as we go throughout the conference, the different papers are predicting that you're going to have another good team, and they're looking at you as at least a sectional dark horse. How do you see your team for this year?
Well, we feel good about the team simply because of the line returning. We lost a fine back in Jimmy Hope. We lost a fine quarterback, Mike Gursky, and a fullback in Kevin Krell. And they're three hard guys to replace when you have such a backfield. But with the line back and some of the kids that got experience because of the success we had last year, we feel that Bokiko and Woodward and Coleman are all capable backs.
Okay, now we see Mount Carmel area, of course, they have some key injuries that are coming into the game. Two people aren't suiting at all for the game. There's some nicks and bumps here to go from the scrimmages. How is your team health-wise?
Well, we're 100%, I believe, right now. We have two sophomores that are nicked, but we didn't feel that they would be very much a factor tonight. So I believe that we're pretty healthy going into the ballgame.
Okay, Coach, let me ask you one thing now. You see both teams, of course. You've seen Mount Carmel yourself. You've coached against us. We don't usually change things. Jazz is here. We're just talking 30 years. What do you think are the keys to tonight's game for you to win?
Well, I'm a fan of Jazz Diminick. I played back in Tamaqua during the early 70s, and I don't want to say I copied him, but I like to think that a lot of the things we do are very similar to what Mount Carmel do. I have a lot of respect for Jazz and, the type of teams that he has, his discipline on his teams, and they come out and they play hard football. And as far as the offense and the defense, we're a 52. We run from the wing. So I would say that I've watched him very closely over the years.
Okay, Coach, listen, we appreciate you stopping by. Thanks and good luck tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Silver Bowl for the 1991 edition of the Mount Carmel Area Red Tornadoes. It's a hot summer night. It feels like mid-July, and the temperatures and humidity are awesome here, Warren, aren't they?
It feels like a Central American country right now. It's not hot. Hot's an injustice to what's going on up here right now.
I'm Bob Ellis, along with Warren Aldemore, bringing you this year's edition of the Red Tornadoes. We interviewed Coach Diminick, Warren, and he seems rather optimistic.
Well, you look at Coach at the beginning of a year, and we've been seeing him now for 3 or 4 years, and it's hard to judge him. He's by nature cautious and doesn't let loose with a lot, but he seems confident. He seems happy, and of course, we had the biggest turnout as far as kids are concerned in the last 15 years. We currently have around 53 to 55 kids on the current roster, which is a good 10 or 12 more than we were with all of last year. So he's happy about that. He feels good. A little more confidence that if somebody should get hurt or go down during the game, that you're going to have someone that can go in there and replace him right away. On the downside, of course, he looks at a team that goes into this game against the Blue Raiders with two major injuries. Of course, Mazzatesta, and it's beginning to look more and more like he's lost for the year. He was a fine, outstanding performer. They're going to certainly miss him at the end position. And, of course, Trocky is not suited up tonight either due to a bad ankle. And I think he's going to be sorely missed because they were counting heavily on him from last year to this year. So we're going to watch his replacement and hope that he ably fills the position.
Well, I think he will. I think Josen Kovic is a great, can be a great fullback. I think where it really matters tonight is with this heat, you had the ability of running Sinkovic, of running Trocky, of running Vitero, just running a lot of people out of the tail and out of the fullback spot. And now with Trocky down, you're not going to be able to do that. So some people are going to have to go a little longer. However, you can go back and think about some of the scrimmages where Spearsy ran well, and there are just some younger people coming up that are running the ball very well for the Red Tornadoes right now.
We go to the Blue Raiders right before kickoff, and as Coach Whitey Williams said, as we noticed in the last couple of years since he's become head coach, they're a mirror image of Mount Carmel area. They run the same type of offense, same type of defense, the same kind of philosophy. He said, I like to think that I've copied and used a lot of Coach Dimnick's ideas, and he has. And they're confident. As I said in the pregame with him, they are picked as a section dark horse to win the whole thing in their section. So it's an interesting game.
And there's the opening kickoff of the 1991 season, taken by Blasi on the 30-yard line. Brings it up the middle, and he's going to be tackled on the 37. Red Tornadoes take down 1st and 10 on the 37-yard line. Tackle was made by number 84, P.J. Holm from the Tamaqua Blue Raiders.
course, the quarterback from last year to this year, you'll notice we didn't change numbers. We're still 10 and 10.
Still number 10.
That's the same we were last year.
Hand off to Greco, this side of Otero, and he's got an outside lead there for a first down for the Red Tornadoes. Otero out of the wing on that play, and Greco at tailback, and Greco did a reverse to, reverse to him there, and gained a nice 11 yards for the Red Tornadoes.
Well, one of the things you're going to look at Otero, which is a little bit different from the tailbacks we've seen of the last couple of years, he's as hard-nosed as they are, and he plays tough football, but the speed is the difference. He's faster than anything we've had back there in quite some time.
Otero at tail, Sinkovic at full. Sinkovic the ball carrier, good for about a 5-yard gain. Nice hole made in there by the left side of the Red Tornado line. Just working over the Tornadoes offense, we have Eric Trocchi at center.
I'm sorry, Eric Geary.
Eric Geary at center. Rocco Chicatano at right guard. And Scotty Paul at left guard. We'll continue on after this next play. Greco goes in motion for the Red Tornadoes. Otero spins around and is knocked down for about a 2-yard loss. It'll be third down and about 7 yards to go for the Red Tornadoes from the 48-yard line of the Blue Raiders.
Well, we may see our first pass with the new quarterback coming up. I'm not sure. I know that Coach Dimnick wants to take it very conservative and let him get his feet, so to speak, and get a little bit of feel for the game. But they're over the 50-yard marker. They're in Blue Raider territory, and they might want to go for a scoring chance.
Higgins back to pass. Looks to Sinkovic, complete and good for a first down for the Red Tornadoes.
Well, that was a beautiful pass, and of course he needed that. That first pass is always
very important.
My goodness, for a freshman. Now he's thrown a pass. He felt good about it. It was right on the money. He made a first down. I think he's happy now, and I think he's confident now.
Jamin out and Eric Belfani into the lineup for the Red Tornadoes. I tell you, we have to talk about the line of the Tornadoes, too. They are an extremely big and fast line this year.
Size is what's going to stand out with all across the year with everyone. All the other teams are talking about our size.
Sinkovic behind the line, good for about 7 yards. Right behind the blocks of Sinkovic, right behind the blocks of Kogut and Chicatano. Second down and about 4. Ball's on the 32-yard line. Higgins to Sinkovic. That time he's stopped up in the middle.
We gave you the guard position playing the right tackle, of course, is Mike Kogat, and over there at left tackle for us is Machuzak. Chris Machuzak will be playing left tackle. He started out for us here.
So I think you got all the linemen.
We think we got the linemen. It's going to take us a little while, like it will you. There's some different numbers out here for openers, which I always like. They change numbers somehow during the year. But it's a veteran line, and that makes any coach happy to start the season with the line that's been there before.
Third down and about 2. Pitch back to Otero, and that one was going. But there's a flag on the play.
It's the first penalty of the 1991 season.
We have a dead ball foul. Offsides, Tamaqua. That'll be an automatic first down for the Red Tornadoes.
Well, it's always good to have the first penalty against the other team.
It is also good to have this first drive go the way it's going. I mean, I hope it finishes the way we hope it to, but this is the way we like to see it start out.
Well, as I said, there was a quiet confidence among the coaching staff throughout the entire week, and again at the Breakfast Club this morning. And it looks like it's bearing them out right now.
Higgins to Otero. Otero coming around the right side. He's dragging a man out of bounds. That's good for about a 9-yard gain.
Very close.
Yeah.
About 9 yards altogether where they mark it now. Again, there you saw a little bit of the difference is the speed. I mean, Vatero is lightning fast.
Just to be able to break around that end.
He is absolutely lightning fast.
Pitch to Greco. Takes it inside, big hole, and down to about the 9-yard line. Another first down for the Red Tornadoes. And that's what's really good, too, is you have Greco and Vatero in the backfield, both good speed, and you can use them in different places. They can bring Greco into the tailback and keep Vatero at the wingback.
No, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of versatility on this team that was lacking in the last years simply because there weren't enough numbers. Now you're going to see a lot of guys in a lot of different spots. They can change. They're mixable, and that's a good sign.
First down and goal to go for the Red Tornadoes. Greco, the ball carrier up the middle, down to about the 2-yard line.
One of the things you want to look at, a sign of a good team and a veteran line, is if you notice, now you'll be hard to see now, but when they're moving down the field, the backside line, the guys that are actually not at the point of attack are all downfield making blocks. They're all the way down by the ball carrier, and that's what you like to see.
7:29 left in the first quarter.
Now we had a little mix-up on that one.
The center and Higgins seem to be on the right count. Everybody else was on a different one,
so
right?
Maybe they were on the wrong one, and the rest of the team was on the right one. But that's going to cost.
You're going to have that
$5.
early in the season, too.
That's a tough spot to lose 5 yards.
That's right.
You're down on the goal line like that.
Second down and 6, and also second down and goal to go from the 6-yard line. Nice crowd here tonight in Mount Carmel. Higgins pitches to Vatero around the outside.
There it is.
Touchdown, Red Tornado.
First touchdown of the 1991 season. Mark Vatero. Around the right side. Very impressive drive, Bob. Very impressive.
We have 2 kickers for extra points this year.
There's a somewhat interesting. There's an interesting story behind this. There is, of course, a Polish kid who's from Poland here on the team, and I'm going to find his name in a second. His name is Walter Klus. He's wearing 73 down there, but you're not going to see him kick right away. According to Coach Dimnick, you're going to see
number 32, Jason
Fantini. And now the odd thing about Jason is his whole career he's been a straight-on kicker, and last night he decided to change and be a soccer-style kicker. So Jazz down there right now is the same as us. He's wondering what exactly is going to happen on this kick.
There goes, snap back, kicks up, and it's right through,
and he's
good. A nice kick by Fantini.
Once again, the kicking game has Coach Dimmick a little bit baffled, but it's come
I'll tell
through.
you what, one of the most impressive first drives we've seen in a long time for a Red Tornado team. With 7:04 left in the first quarter, the score, the Red Tornadoes 7, Tamaqua 0.
Well, now on offense, of course, as I said before, the Blue Raiders will employ pretty much the same offense as we do. There's not a lot of difference. You'll see that slot back there, but one of the guys you want to watch on this one is number 60, Riga. Riga was a guard last year. Those of you who are real remembers of the game last year, he played guard, but prior to that, he was a good fullback.
Nice kick by Fantini into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Obviously, Jason's been a soccer-style kicker, and he hasn't known it. It's becoming evident very quickly.
What a great booming kick by Fantini.
But getting back to Riga, the odd thing you'll notice is he's wearing, or at least he's scheduled to wear 60, and he'll be the fullback. And apparently they're very high on him. He can be an all-anthracite player from what they tell us. Now, he's not in the game at the moment, or he's wearing a different number. We're going to have to get that verified.
Coming up the middle to number 32, the ball carrier, Mike Coleman. And a tackle made by number 64, Mike Kogut. Greco also in on the stop. Woodring was a good ball carrier for them last year, Warren. He wears
Yes,
number
he was,
31.
yeah. Of course, the guy you'd remember last year more than anything was Jimmy Hope.
Krujek back to pass. He floats one out here long. Nice
he caught that.
reception made out there by number 21, Frank Krell of the Blue Raiders. Covering was Mark Vitero.
Well, of course, Mark is first year in football as a senior, and one of the hardest positions, of course, to learn is that safety and the defensive backfield spots. And he played it pretty well, to tell you the truth. It was a perfectly thrown pass, and the only way he would have completed, he was in the good position. He just couldn't get his hand up to knock it down.
Krujek up the middle to number 32.
64.
Stopped in there by number 64, Kogut, and also number 22, Sean Sheptock. That was a nice run made by number 32, Mike Coleman again. The reason it got quiet, we all took a drink of Coke. It did taste good, right? Fumble on the play.
Third down.
Tamaqua recovered the ball. Ball's on the 38-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. 5:43 left in the first quarter.
Number 60, Clean. Jason Clean in the second. And right end, right defensive end.
Krujek back to pass. Out here to number 40. Complete. Mark Onusko caught the ball, and tackle made by Aaron Jamin, but good for a Tamaqua first down on the 29-yard line.
A Red Tornado shaking up, and that would look like Klingerman to me. No, it looks like number 60, if I'm not mistaken, which would be Jason Klingerman.
Jason Klingerman, he's a sophomore for the Red Tornadoes.
I wasn't watching his part of the play. Belfani will replace him. I didn't see what happened to him. Coach Dimnick, I might add, this morning at Breakfast Club singled Jason out. Bob had some very nice things to say about him, and well, back up, Bob. I'll tell you what. At this point in time, I'd pay money for a cool breeze.
Oh, definitely. Coleman, the ball carrying. Boy, he is just nailed in there by Joe Sinkovich and Mike Kogut.
Sinkovich had a great hit. That was a perfect linebacker hit there. Took him square on, stood him up, and dropped him.
2nd and 9 for the Blue Raiders. 4:49 left in the first period. Krujek back to pass. The rush is on. They got him back there. Initial hit made by 87. Belfani. Also in there helping Joe Sinkovich.
Also had Blossy coming out of the other side of the line. Good defensive play now. It's 2 plays in a row. They really stood Tamaqua up.
3rd down and big for Tamaqua. About 17 yards to go. The ball's on the 37-yard line. Krujek on the straight drop back. Looking deep. A nice catch made there by number 40.
He's got it. Yeah, they're going to give it
Mark
to him.
Onusko. Boy, and I'll tell you what,
Same
Greco
pass.
and Vitero have covered that pass as well as you can cover it. It's just getting right in there.
That's the exact same pass as the long gainer before, and that gives Tamaqua. They're down on the 2 or 3 yard line now. This is not what the defense wanted to do. I'm sure to open the game up. And they're going to definitely have to dig in here. 1st down and 3 to go. Goal to go.
Coleman, the ball carrier. His feet taken out, but he's in for a touchdown for the Blue Raiders. And I'll tell you what, Whitey Williams has changed the Tamaqua program around. There's no
absolutely.
doubt about it.
Yeah, they were truly a dismal program in the late 80s. They couldn't win anything. At one point, they had gone 1-10. They're now. This is we're back to what we were last year.
They tried to run it, And it's no good.
This was that goofy
That
play
goofy
that I
play
talked
you
about
love.
last
That's
year.
your favorite play, Warren.
Now, that time he actually tried to use it the
Yep.
right way, and it didn't work.
Okay, 3:38 left in the first quarter. The score, the Red Tornadoes 7, the Tamaqua Blue Raiders 6. Okay. Number 60 kicking off for Tamaqua, Ron Rega. He's a senior. Vitero, Jeff Trockey, and Sinkovich deep. I guess we have to start using first names, especially when Eric comes back, Warren. Taken by Vitero. Right up the middle. Does a little spin. He's on the 40, and he's up to the 45-yard line. A nice run back for the Red Tornadoes.
Well, that's what they meant by hard-nosed running when Jazz was explaining Vitero to us this morning. He said he's just not afraid. He'll stick his head right in there, and he'll give you a good banging when he's coming up the field.
Big Red offense starts out here on the 45-yard line. 3:23 left in the first. Higgins, a little jumped ball, picks it up, coming around the right side. It finds a little running room, and he'll almost get the first down. Nice play by Higgins on the fumble snap.
That was a heads-up play. He dropped the ball, then he had a little trouble getting it, and he still was able to, I guess he's going to gain just about
9 yards. Could be
No,
a first down.
I think he's got a first down.
Could be a first down.
No, well, now
It's not a first down.
It was,
he moved
but now
it
it
back.
isn't.
Right.
That was
an amazing move by a ref.
Well, it was a good 9 and 3/4 yards that he gained there. Now they're both.
Now they're going to
confused.
talk about it.
He's going to move it back. Now it's a first down.
Now it's first
Now
down.
it'll be first down. We move the chains. Coach Williams over there is wondering what's going on, as we are.
Well, we're going to have an official timeout for a measurement.
Now we might as well do the whole thing you could possibly do on a ball spot.
Now it was second down, Warren. After we're done all this, we're back on the air.
But I'm going to tell you what. I'm looking almost straight across the line here, and I don't know how where it's placed down there.
I
how
can't
it isn't a
believe
first
how it
down.
can't be a first down either.
I mean, it's going to be a centimeter to go here.
Second down and a centimeter. Sinkovich, Vitero in the backfield. Joe Greco at the wing back. Joe Greco goes in motion. Sinkovich up the middle. Fumble on the play, and it might be
They have
recovered by Tamaqua.
They
It
do,
is.
They have it.
First down, Blue Raiders. Now we have a flag on the play.
Now that's a case of the running back. Who was that? Sinkovich.
Sinkovich was the running
never
back.
got the ball right. It was a botched handoff. He never had control of the ball when he hit the line of scrimmage, and he got a good hit as he hit the line, and he couldn't hold on. But he never had it tucked away. He was bobbling it right up to the end of the play. That is going to be a little pressure on this defense, Bob.
Well, Kruchek, the quarterback, is only a junior from Tamaqua also. There's the pitch back to number 32. Coleman breaks it through, but only for about 2 yards. Stop made in there by number 25, Joe Greco, and Sean Sheptock, number 22. Also Kogut in there, and Kogut's in there on about every play for being a big guy.
Well, Kogut is a junior, but Kogut was a freshman starter too. He saw action as a freshman, so he's been around 3 years now. So he knows what he's doing out there.
Kruchek up the middle to the big fullback, number 48 of the Blue Raiders, Mike Bokiko. Stop made by Mark Vitero and Kogut. Also, it could have been 44. I think that might have been Jamie Bullock in on that tackle.
Full house backfield now.
Kruchek gives the ball to Coleman. Hit the
Fumble.
backfield. Fumble. Joe Sinkovich caused the fumble, and the ball was recovered by number 22,
Sheptock. Sean Sheptock.
Sean Sheptock.
That was all Sinkovich there. He was in the backfield, and he that's the same thing that happened to him. He didn't have total control of the ball either, and he hit that back before he got it tucked away, and consequently we had a fumble on the play, but that was good heads-up linebacking play there.
First down and 10, 1:37 left in the first period. The ball just over the mid-stripe in Tamaqua territory. Higgins. Vatero, the ball carrier, coming around the right side, and he's stopped in there on a nice play by number 32, Coleman.
I think one of the worries you might want to think about tonight would be with Sinkovic going both ways on such a horribly hot night. Now, Coach Dimnick touched on that a little bit this morning and said that he was confident that he would, that he really didn't have a problem with him going both ways. But I'll tell you what, I'm sitting up here in the press box having heart palpitations from the heat. I don't know how he's doing it down there.
Second down and 11. Greco goes in motion for the Red Tornadoes. Higgins coming around the right, hits Greco for about a 3-yard gain. Third down about 9 for the Tornadoes, and in passing situation again. 31 seconds left in the first quarter. Sinkovic and Greco go into the backfield. Vatero goes split to the wing back. Fumble again, and Higgins taken down on about the 45-yard line. It'll put the Red Tornadoes in a punting situation.
Well, Higgins is having some trouble with the center snap. Now, I don't know. I mean, that's something that takes a long while to work on to get down pat, but that's 3 or 4 times now.
Well, one of the other things that occurs
there
on a hot night is that the hands get wet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the sweat's coming down your arms, it gets into your hands, and that's it. Well, we're at the end of the first quarter. It's been an exciting one. The Red Tornadoes 7, the Blue Raiders 6. Blossy in the punt for the Red Tornadoes. I guess Jamie Bolig's job, but his ankle's been sore.
Yeah.
Is that going around this week?
They don't want to risk his ankle by letting him punt. So, and Blossy's a good punter.
Oh, good punter. Fantana Rhodes of the snap. A little low back to Blossy. Nice end-over-end kick, and it hits on about the 28-yard line, still bounding down. And that's going to go down to about the 12-yard line. So
Good
it ended
kick.
up being a great kick for Blossy.
Yeah, good kick. Again, there's no lack of confidence whatsoever with Blossy going in the kick. He's done so several times last year and throughout his career, so we know he can do the job.
Well, this is the start of the second quarter, but it's a big time now for the Red Tornadoes defense to hold here and try to get the ball going in the other direction, Warren.
They need a little confidence more than anything here. They've got to stuff them maybe once and then make them punt.
Crew check. Second back through, number 32, Coleman. Stop made in there by number 30, Aaron Jamin, and also number 77, Sean Zarkowski. Fantini into the lineup for Zarkowski. Crew check back to pass. Oh, nice
Blossy.
play made by Bloss.
Good play.
Great
Heads
play.
up ball. And one of the things that I mentioned about Riga, number 60, in the backfield. Now, he played there in the last 2 scrimmages they had. He was scouted as being moved back to fullback. And as I was saying, he was slated to be at fullback, but now they have changed. He's not played back there yet in this game.
Krujak pitches back to Coleman. Stopped in there by number 25, Joe Greco.
At the moment, they're not missing him. They're
gonna
a
have-
pretty potent running attack here.
Certainly do. 4th down and 1. And you know what? It's without Woodring's in now, but that first period, Woodring was not in the game a lot.
Now they have 2 different runners mostly. Now they're gonna
They've been running heavy with Coleman and also number 48, Bokiko, who's the fullback. Deep for the Red Tornadoes, Vatero and number 29, Jeff Trockey. They are not in punt formation yet. There they shift into it, and Coleman is now back to punt for the Blue Raiders. Ball snapped. Nice spiraling kick. It's going in the direction of Trockey. He fumbles it on about the 38, and he's down on about the 33-yard line.
Oh, did Bolick level a guy? Oh, my goodness. 53 is looking around there, but did he take
Until the
a
whistle
shot?
blows, you can hit anybody.
Oh, did he take a whack from Bolick? Oh, Oh, my.
First down and 10, Red Tornadoes on the 34-yard line. 10-14 left in the first half.
And of course, 29, Trocky's just a sophomore, but again, he was another one singled out by Coach Dimmick today.
He's a little speedster. He's proven himself in the freshman and JV level that he can go with the varsity team. Pitch back to Votero, coming around the left side. Knocked out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain.
And Coach Dimmick said he's absolutely not afraid to stick his nose anywhere with anybody. He is one hard-nosed little guy.
Second down and about 8. 9:55 left in the first half. Greco goes in motion, and I think the right side of the line jumped there.
It was Kogan, and he made a fantastic block. I mean, it was too bad it wasn't with the play, but that was a great block.
Second down and about 13.
We looked so sharp on the first drive, and now we've kind of fallen into a quagmire. We can't get ourselves going.
Well, some things happen, too, as defenses adjust, so you have to adjust your offense to go a little different, and I think that's what we're going to do right now. You're going to see some different plays come out of the Red Tornadoes. Greco in motion again. Pitches back to Greco, going around the right side. Cuts it up, and only gains about 2 yards. Stopped in there by number 79, Joe Dietrich. Third and 13 for the Red Tornadoes. No gain on that play. After you see them break around all the way 10 yards deep into the backfield, looks like they gain about 2 yards.
Yeah. That's a tried and true play of ours, though. We've been using that, I think, for the whole 30 years that Jazz has been here.
Higgins, straight drop back, screen pass to Votero. Oh, a nice play made in there by number 31, Woodring.
Everybody ran right by him.
Right, Woodring is a heck of a ball player. He sort of went to sleep over there, didn't let them think he was coming, and when he saw it forming, he stayed there.
I mean, that was a great-looking screen, but 3 guys ran by him like he was invisible, and he's the guy who made the tackle.
Good play by Woodring. Fourth down and 9 yards to go for the Red Tornadoes. 8:51 left in the first half. 7-6, the Big Red leads. Blasi back to punt. Sails this one in the direction of number 31, Woodring, and he calls a fair catch on the 34-yard line. So the Blue Raiders will take over first down and 10 on the 34.
We can take a moment here while we're changing over here to mention that the Mount Carmel area Red Tornado football coaching staff is a new addition, of course, in Sam Chicatano, standout player here at Mount Carmel area a couple of years back. And from all the input we've gotten from the players in the last couple of weeks of camp, he's really made a positive impact on the operation.
Kruchek back to pass. He's throwing a long one deep down here to number 40. Again caught by Mark Onusko. A great catch by Onusko.
Well, they're going to have to adjust now to that play. That's 3 times. Now, obviously, Tamaqua sees something that we're not getting right there, and they're capitalizing on it. And that time, had the ball been a little bit better thrown,
that could have been a touchdown.
If he was far behind everybody, he just stumbled when he caught the ball.
8:21 left in the first half. The score is 7-6, Big Red.
Well, this game is going just about the way we thought it would be. 2 evenly matched teams so far, and they're giving the Red Tornado defense everything that they can possibly handle right now. The secondary in particular is having a trouble adjusting to that post pattern out to the sideline. And I'm sure that Coach Dimnick's out there right now. In fact, that's who he's talking
he went
to
out
there right now, trying to go over that with the defensive backfield and making sure that they know where they're supposed to be when that kid goes out. Again, the quarterback now, this is a quarterback that's starting new just like ours is. He did not play last year. his fine arm. I mean, he's had
Kruchek, we saw this kid when we were up there for the JV game, okay? And he had a heck of an arm. We were up, for the JV game last year, and he played an outstanding JV game up there. In fact, it was very controversial at the end where he threw a touchdown pass and won the game. But he's been around for the Blue Raiders in their program, getting ready to come up. Kruchek gives the ball to Coleman up the middle, good for about a 2-yard gain. Tackled in there by Sean Sheptock. Scotty Paul's in there. Number 32, Jason Fantini, also in on the tackle.
No, it's 7. You got 7, almost 8 minutes to go. I know that Big Red wants to hold him here.
Kruchek back to pass. Lets one out to Woodring, and that was a timing pass, and Woodring just wasn't ready for it.
That was a good pass.
Right.
Woodring never turned around.
Never turned around.
He should have turned around 3 seconds before that, and that would have been a nice completion because it was a perfectly thrown ball. The quarterback really looks heads up. I mean, he shows a lot of good things here for Tamaqua. And again, he just was someone that was not, when you look at their preseason scouting reports in the different papers and all, they weren't mentioning him as an impact player at all. They were centering more on Riga, and we see Riga back on the line as a guard, not in the backfield where he was told that he would be playing.
They have trips left right now. Kruchek back to pass, looking in the end zone, and almost taken by Vitero, and that was not interference because he strictly went for the ball all the way.
Well, the other thing is that the ball wasn't catchable.
Right.
That kid was not going to catch that ball for a touchdown, not that high.
Right.
That might have been the first really poorly thrown pass I think he threw all night. He really was way ahead of that receiver.
7:42 left in the first half. 4th down and 9 for the Raiders. They're on the 26-yard line. It'll be interesting to see what they go with here. I'm sure they're going to throw a pass. Kruchek back to pass again. It's a screen. Nice play made by Blossy, but another great play made by Woodring. You have to give Woodring credit for a great play. Blossy was there. Blossy was there.
Blossy read the play. He just couldn't bring him down. He was right. Of course, he was going for the ball.
He went for the ball,
He
right.
tried to intercept the ball and then couldn't bring the back down. You can't fault him. I mean, he did everything he was supposed to be doing there. But they truly caught us off guard again. And the passing game seems to have our defense on its heels right now.
First down, Tamaqua on the 12-yard line. 7:22 left in the first half. Kruchek again gives the ball. I think it's Coleman, the ball carrier. They've been switching in and putting in also Kyle Woodward. Yeah, it is Coleman, the ball carrier. Tackle made by Sheptock, and also in there, number 53, Fantanarosa. Mike Fantanarosa, senior for the Red Tornadoes.
Well, this is definitely gut check time for the defense. You don't want to go into halftime behind.
2nd down and 6, goal to go. 6:46 left in the first half. Number 48, the ball carrier, Mike Bokigo. Stopped in there by Jamie Bullock.
Well,
now they're faced with a 3rd down and 5, and you wonder what Williams is going to do here.
I think you're looking at 2 passes, to tell you the truth. You have Sean Zarkowski in the lineup now for
Fantini.
Fantini.
That's just to put a little more beef in at nose guard in case they try running it up the middle.
Well, Sean's another first-year football player as a senior. Unfortunately, he's a very big kid with a lot of athletic talent.
Kruchek over to Anusko on Jamin. Stop made by a lot of Tornadoes over there. They covered that very well.
Good defensive pressure over on the end.
Jamin made a stop. Bullock in on over there. And also Vitero coming up from his safety position.
Now, you got to remember, they can make a first down here before they go into the end zone. And they're about a yard and a half from a first down.
Timeout called by Tamaqua.
Yeah, they're a yard and a half away from a first down and about 2.5 yards away from a touchdown.
And this is 4th down and 1 for the Raiders. Big play for the Red Tornado defense, Warren.
Well, a lot of the marbles are right here for the first half.
Kruchek to Coleman up the middle. I don't think he made it.
No, I think he's going to have the first down.
Did he get in there?
His forward motion is going to give him a first down.
Stopped in there by Sheptok. There was also somebody on the bottom, Joe Sinkovic, and also Fantana Rosa.
Now, it depends where they mark the ball, but Tamaqua seems...
First
there it
down,
is.
Blue Raiders.
First down and goal to go on about the 1 yard line, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a big defensive stand here.
Kruchek, Coleman on the jump, and a nice play initially made by Bolick, but also shooting in down there under the center was number 77, Zarkowski.
Yeah, that was a
He's
good
laying
play
on the
there.
bottom right now getting up. Or no, it isn't. It's number 37, Sinkovic. Sinkovic came shooting in real low and blocked everything up for Coleman.
Fantan was in there pretty quickly, too. No gain at all on that play.
No gain, but no loss. Second down and 1 for the Blue Raiders. 5:06 left in the first half. Kruchek with a quarterback sneak, and they're not going to make it on that play. Fantana Rosa. Sinkovic getting up. Also on the bottom there, Sean Sheptok.
Well,
Third down and goal to go.
They're certainly making the stand right now.
We have another timeout called here by the Red Tornadoes this time. We're right about at the 1 foot line. Third down and goal to go for the Tamaqua Blue Raiders. 4:35 left in the first half. Kruchek sets his team, tries the quarterback sneak, and there's going to be a flag on this play.
I think that's going to go
It
against Tamaqua.
it looked like motion on the left side of their line.
Yeah, they had a little bit of. No, it's not. It looks like it's against us.
We have a dead ball foul, offside, Red Tornadoes.
Well, that's not going to make much of a difference.
Not
You can't
really.
move
That
the
was
ball
about
anyway,
that was
so-
about a 1-inch penalty.
No, you don't lose anything on a penalty like that.
The scary part about that was that the quarterback was in on that play, so they definitely have to make some attempt of blocking him off there.
No, he didn't get in that time either. Another quarterback sneak. And I'll be truthful with you. I
Fourth
think
down.
He lost.
Fourth down. He lost the ball.
No, but he lost yardage. He never got off moved his legs that time. The nose tackle's doing a heck of a job down there. Is that Zarkowski still in there at nose tackle?
Yeah. He's down in there at nose tackle.
He stood that thing up. Now it's going to be a Tamaqua timeout. Or no, another Tornado timeout.
This is it. Fourth down. 4:04 left in the first half. 7-6. Red Tornadoes in the lead. Coleman the ball carrier. Touchdown Tamaqua.
Well, we were talking about it during the little break we just had about why Tamaqua insisted on going on a quarterback sneak there when their bread and butter was the off-tackle play down the field. And our spotter, Frenchie Brokenshire, just mentioned that they overloaded the line on the left side, unbalanced the line, and went that way, and were able to get enough push to get that half a yard or so into the end zone.
Now we have a timeout called here by Tamaqua.
This will turn out to be the longest half of the century pretty soon.
There's an even 4 minutes left in the first half. Tamaqua in now for their extra point attempt. The score 12-7. Tamaqua in the lead. Kruchek, straight drop back, looks over the middle, went to Anusko.
Vatero was definitely worried about a flag at that
he
time.
definitely made sure he didn't let Anusko catch the ball.
If Vatero had pockets, he would have put his hands in them, I think, on that one.
I'll tell you, Anusko just has a way of getting open down there. It's amazing how he's been open in our secondary.
Well, we remember him from last year. Again,
Yep,
he was an excellent player, a good skill player, and he's back even better than he was last year.
Here's Rega's kick. It's a short one taken by number 29, Jeff Trocchi, and he's breaking up the middle. Nice block made in there by Vatero, and a great run by Trocchi, but Vatero broke him and lost his helmet on the play. It was a heck of a hit in there.
Well, I think we had
First down and 10 on the 44-yard line.
Last year and this year, of course, we have the Sweet Pea, number 31, and I'm going to have to tell it to you now. We have 29, Jeff Trocki, and his nickname on the entire team is Chicklet. Don't ask me how he got that.
Greco on the inside handoff. Oh, nice play. One more block, and he was gone. Gain of about 5 yards. I'll tell you what. Whoever was in on number 69 of Tamaqua, Rich Dennis, he was leveled in there on the line.
Yeah, the offensive line is blocking fairly well. I mean, for the first game, the first half, they're doing a pretty good job. We look a little bit off balance here as far as, here we go again back into the huddle. It doesn't look good that way, but again, it's some jitters in there.
Lots of time left. 2nd down and 4, 3 minutes left in the first half. Higgins, ball carrier. It was an option play. It was going to be, he came down the line, but boy, the number 52 from Tamaqua was in, Matt Gursky. Just made a great defensive
hopefully he
play.
learned something there because he tried to pitch the ball with that man too close, and he barely retained possession of the football. Now that's something you learn as a freshman as you're going through the game, and I'm sure he's gonna think about that next time. But you don't want to have that ball out the pitch when a guy's giving you that much pressure that early.
Sinkovic and Votero in the backfield. Greco at the wing back in motion now. Pitch back to Votero around the left side. Oh, boy, right at the end, he almost had the first down, and he gained about 8 yards. Woodring in on the tackle, so the Tornadoes face a 4th down and about 2, so they're in a punting situation.
Now, some of the crowd, of course, is saying go for it, but considering Tamaqua's potent offense so far, I think the right thing to do with a
Get them deep if you can,
get them
right.
down to their own goal line.
That's right.
And try to regroup at halftime.
Blasi back to punt for the Red Tornadoes. Snap is back. Blasi makes the catch. Nice spiraling kick in the direction of Woodring, and he makes the stop catch on about the 17-yard line. So Tamaqua still has 128, and I'm sure we're going to see a Nusco get the ball, or at least they're going to try Kruzek to get the ball
One of the
to
things I see
him.
is there's a flag on that play. Is that what you think it is, Frenchie? Yeah. Frenchie Brokenshire says it was a 2-handed wave instead of 1, and that's what the penalty is. So we're going to see if it bears him out.
It'll be a first down for the Red Tornadoes. They get 5 yards on the penalty, and he was right.
That's a first down for Mount Carmel area. That's certainly a nice penalty to make.
128 left in the first half.
And that's one you don't see too often. I give Frenchie credit on that one. He called that one immediately. You've been reading the book over the
Higgins
summer,
pitches back to Votero around the right side. He's breaking it outside, makes a cut inside and taken down on the 28-yard line.
I'm going to tell you what, 31. You have his
Woodring's quick. That's Woodring.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, he saved the touchdown 2 plays in a row now. That kid's making a heck of an open field tackle.
118 left.
That's the second play in a row that he saved the touchdown on.
12-7, the Blue Raiders in the lead. Higgins sets his Red Tornadoes. Drops straight back in the pocket. Looking downfield, sees Jamin across the middle.
Goodness,
good
great
for
catch.
About maybe 9 yards. It might be a first down.
That's Gary Spears, right? Or no,
that's Jamin.
I'm sorry, Jamin.
Yeah, Aaron Jamin.
They're both wearing 30. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jamin. I didn't see the first name. That was a great catch in traffic. They had that well defense and a nice throw.
First down for the Red Tornadoes. 50 seconds left in the first half. Higgins rolls to his right. Looks for Greco, looking downfield and going to run the ball on this play. Gains about 4 yards, and there's only 39 seconds left.
You gotta hit the ball. Get the ball into the ground. Throw the ball into the ground. You have one of those to use.
30 seconds left in the first half. Higgins sets the
Bring
Tornadoes.
the ball down, right down.
And he throws it out of bounds.
See, there's where a freshman, and I'm sure Jazz is going to tell him that. All he had to do was turn and bounce the ball on the ground, and that was it. It would have stopped the clock.
Well, 24 seconds left in the first half.
But he did get the clock stopped, and that's what we were trying to do.
I think from the goal line stand, we're probably out of timeouts.
Yeah, that's why we can't call it right now.
So this is one you probably have to throw to the end zone with 24 seconds up on the clock.
My guess is you got two good plays left here, depending on what happens.
Higgins rolling to the right, rolling to the left, looking in the end zone. He tucks the ball away again, and he's taken down on the 18-yard line, and I think probably
16 seconds, 15.
14, we're out of timeouts.
Now he's 10 seconds to go. If he lines them up, he's got to get the ball into the end zone. That's the key here.
Belfani on the catch, and that's going to be the end of the first half.
Well, we definitely looked a little bit frayed there at the end of the half. We certainly weren't in sync, and we didn't manage the clock very well.
That's the end of the first half. The score, the Blue Raiders 12, the Red Tornadoes 7. We'll be back with Warren's halftime stats in a second.
Okay, folks, we're here at halftime with the halftime stats. I'm down here on the field right before we begin the second half. Mount Carmel area ran the ball 21 times for 79 yards. They were 5 of 6 for passing, but only for 26 yards passing. Vitero in the individual rushing. Vitero was 8 times for 49 yards. Joey Real 4 times for 20 yards. And Sinkovic was 4 times for 11 yards. In the reception department, Jamin had 1 for 10 yards, Sinkovic 1 for 10 yards, Joey 1 for 3 yards, Vitero 1 for 5, and Belfani caught that last pass at a half for a -2 yards. He has 1 catch. Mount Carmel area has 7 first downs in the first half. Tamaqua ran the ball 19 times, but only for 26 yards rushing, but you'll see the big difference coming here. They were 6 of 9 for 132 yards passing, 3 of those on 3 long passes. Their first downs were 6, so you can see it's a fairly evenly matched first half. We're going to be bringing you back for the second half in 2 seconds, so stay tuned. Thank you.
.29, Chiclet Trockey.
Chiclet dropped him. He took a nice hit. Gave me a good hit on that one. And again, Jazz said he would, so he proved it. He'll take you head on anybody. Doesn't matter how big you are. I think Jazz said that Chiclet weighs about 128 pounds. I think he's listed that in the program.
Although Coleman had a nice 30-yard return for the Raiders. And a big defensive stand here for the Red Tornadoes. Pitch back to Coleman, a little high, but he breaks it around the left side. Good for about 4 yards. Bullock in on the stop over there. Also, 53, Mike Fantana Rosa. And number 30, Jamin. Jason Klingerman in at right defensive end for the Red Tornadoes, and they're coming up the middle. I think a nice stop made in there by Zarkowski.
48, Mike Beltico, the ball carrier.
77.
Yeah. Also getting off the bottom of the pile, number 53, Fantana Rosa. Third down and about 3. The ball's resting on the 47-yard line of the Blue Raiders. In and out of the hands of Joe Greco. Nice play, good defensive play, but I thought he had that one.
Well, everybody was well covered, and that time we had everybody drop back in what looked like their respective zone. So we got to be happy about that, and we're going to bring them up.
You know what we have
now.
to check too? It appeared there might have been 2 safeties on that play. We might have gone to a 4-deep cloud defense on that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't watching on the passing situation. Vitero and Chiclet Trockey deep for the Red Tornadoes. Snap back to Coleman. Nice rush on him, but a good spiraling kick in the direction of Trockey. Takes it on about the 25-yard line. Breaks it around to the 30, and he's still going to the 32-yard line.
Nice stiff arm at the end of the play there. You see that arm come out. Good stiff arm. I like him. He's a good hard runner. I like him.
I'm watching Sammy Mazzatesta sitting down in his wheelchair on about the 25-yard line of the Red Tornadoes, and I'll tell you, he really was a spirited ball player this year. He worked very hard during doubles, and it's just sad it happened, but it does happen in this sport. And Sammy will be around watching the team, I think, this year, but possibly back next year. The tear of the ball carrier takes it around the right side, and a nice block by Sinkovich, but also a nice tackle made by 31 Woodring.
31's all over the field right now. That kid's a one-man defensive gang out there. I mean, somebody's got to knock him down sooner or later.
Tornadoes have made a quarterback change. Bobby Veach into the starting.
That's a little amazing.
Role for the Red Tornadoes.
I would not have thought that, but we're definitely doing something different here.
Second down and about 9:17 left in the third quarter. Greco moves back. Matero moves back into a tailback spot. Pitch back to him, coming around the left side. A great play made by number 52 from Tamaqua, Matt Gursky. Gursky actually ran him down on that play.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now, we've run that play several times in the first half, and nobody's knocking Gursky down either. Gursky and Woodring right now are the two guys you see the most often in on the play. They're getting great outside pursuit. Now, Gursky's the end out there. That's where he's playing defensive end. But somebody's got to block him.
And you see where he's playing in, too. He is way outside.
Well, no, he moves back in. You notice he's playing a tighter end when they line up. But nobody's knocking him down.
Vici back to pass. Looks deep. Hit in there by number 69. Fumble on the play. Recovered by number 48 of Tamaqua, Mike Bakiko. First down, Tamaqua on the 25-yard line.
Mike Bakiko, first and 10, Tamaqua on the Red Tornadoes 25.
$8:17 left in the third quarter. 12-7, the Blue Raiders lead and have a chance here at driving for more. Oh, Coleman goes around the left side, and a nice open field tackle made by Jamin.
Jamin
was
saved
down
the
to
touchdown.
Jamin, but it was a gain of about 7 yards, but a good play made by Jamin.
Well, you have to make those plays, or it's 7 points. They're a must play to make.
Ball spotted on the 19-yard line.
Second down and 4. Kruchek gives the ball to number 33, Kyle Woodward in. Stop made in there by Mike Fantanarosa, number 53.
Game brings up a 3rd and 4.
And Bullock also in on the play. Third down and about 4.
Now this is 4 down territory. Certainly they're not going to kick down here, so they're going to have 2 downs to make 4 yards.
Give the ball to Coleman up the middle.
He's got it.
Breaks through for about an 8-yard gain down to about the 11-yard line.
32,
Jamin in on the tackle.
picking up the first down for the Blue Raiders.
Well, unfortunately, Tamaqua area is starting to dominate along the line. They are dominating the line of scrimmage right now, and it's showing.
Fantanarosa.
Kruchek back to pass. Looks into the end zone. Anusko catches it for the cut by number 1, and we don't even have him on our program, Warren.
There is no 1, but he's scored a touchdown, whoever he is.
Touchdown Tamaqua.
Once again, this kid is really a good passer. He's hitting the mark almost every time. And this is becoming a deep hole now for Big Red. They're going to go for 1 now. Now they're getting a little more confident. They're going to go for the 1 point.
It's back. It's down. It's up. and it's good.
Replacement by number 9, Jeff Kurtek is good.
With 6 minutes and 39 seconds left in the third quarter, the score is Tamaqua area 19, Mount Carmel area 7.
Program from Tamaqua, Ray Trevora.
Rega kicking off for the Blue Raiders. Taken by number 44, Bolick. Breaks it up the middle, and he just stopped on the 40-yard line, and he had a hole there. However, there was a slew of Blue Raiders waiting to tackle him back a little, downfield a little farther.
Kyle Woodward on the stop. Brings up a first and 10 for the Red Tornadoes from their own 39.
Chiclet into the lineup for the Red Tornadoes. First down and 10, Veach the quarterback. Chalky in motion, going around the right side, and he's leveled on about a 3-yard loss.
Now, once again, he got Riga, the standout linebacker, but there's Woodring again. 31 is all over the field.
4 brings up a second and 14.
We're not blocking the linebackers, and we're missing the defensive ends right now. Both of them are making the bulk of the plays here. But that's a good 4-yard loss.
5:45 left in the third quarter. Veach, straight drop back, looking on the screen to Greco. Broken up nice by number 75 of Tamaqua, Jeff Lewis, and he was all over
He
that
read the play. He was just waiting for the ball. Actually, it's a good thing the ball wasn't thrown right to him, or he would have intercepted probably. They're playing heads-up defense. They really are. Now, they knew that play from the very start of it. They knew exactly what it was going to be.
Belfani into the lineup for Jamin, and what they're doing right now is just using their ends and their wings to run plays in and out.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Veach sets the Tornadoes. It's third down and 13. 19-7, the Blue Raiders lead. A reverse inside to Vitero coming around the right side, and he's stopped after a 3-yard gain. And again in on the tackle. Oh, no, it was number 21 that time. I thought it was Woodring, but it was Frank Krell that time.
Well, brings up a punting situation for Big Red. We're totally out of sync offensively right now, Bob. I mean, we are showing nothing on offense right now. And it's hard to believe. We looked so good on that opening drive. I can't believe we disintegrated like this.
Blasi back to punt. Fantanarosa with the snap. There's the kick, a high spiraling. Fair catch called again. Ball bounces down between the two receivers, and it'll be downed on about the 22-yard line. 4:47 left in the third quarter.
I see one minor coaching change on Mount Carmel area. I see Coach Bob Patello is now on the field instead of his customary seat on the press box. I don't know what we can read into that, but obviously I think he's unhappy. And I think right now he probably has good reason to be unhappy at the rate things are going.
Against Tamaqua.
This is going to be a break for the Red Tornadoes again because they're going to get the ball back.
Well, they need it. They definitely need all the breaks they can get right now. You can't say that they've had a lot of bad breaks. I don't think that's occurred. It certainly hasn't had a lot of things go wrong with penalties or bad calls. I think it's just more of a case of them not playing up to potential at the moment.
Penalty occurred before the possession changed over, and therefore the Red Tornadoes have a first and 10 on the 45 of Tamaqua.
Now that's a different call than last year, where last year that would have been just assessed against the return team.
On the return team,
where
right.
Now it becomes a first down. That's a different change in the rules.
Oh, Veach's pass complete to Jamin. That'll be good for a Red Tornado first down.
Oh, that was a nice pass. Veach threw a nice pass right
nice
on the
spiral.
target. Jamin was covered, and he threaded the needle and got the ball in there. That was a nice-looking play.
Another rule in the PIAA rule book is no smoking on the sidelines this year. Can you imagine George Rona on the sideline?
He'd be in deep trouble.
He'd probably hide under somebody's helmet.
And, it's funny because I think George was the only guy I remember ever smoking on the sideline.
That's right.
Who did they make the rule for?
I don't know. Vici back to pass, rolls to the right, looks deep to Jamin. In and out of the hands, and Jamin makes the catch.
What are they going to call it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that looked good to me, but they're going to bring that one back.
I knew the way he was looking at it. He wasn't going to call it a
We have someone down
catch.
on the field. It looks like Bobby Veach, our quarterback, is down.
It is. He's up. He's holding his hand. Now he looks okay, but he's going to have to come out of the game for a moment. Don't you have to come out?
No, he didn't call it.
I don't.
An official timeout.
Oh, okay, an official timeout for
If
an
the
injury.
official calls it, then you have to come out. But he didn't call timeout.
I'll tell you, Frenchie's been definitely studying this rule
He
book
read the
over
book.
the summer.
He read the book.
He's getting to the point now where he's starting to show off back here now. I'm starting
That's
to worry.
okay. Hey. Second down and 10. 3:54 left in the third quarter. 19-7, the Blue Raiders. Vici rolling to his left. Oh, it's finds Sinkovic out of the backfield, in and out of his hands.
Oh, another excellent pass. I mean, he really on the mark, on the button. Just dropped it that time. But Veach has a lot of poise out there right now. I mean, he's rolling out. He's finding his receiver in traffic, and he's throwing the ball nicely.
If you think about it, over the years, Vici has played, a lot of quarterback for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah.
Again, freshman and JV ball. So third down and 10, though, a big third down play for the Red Tornadoes here.
Illegal procedure against the Red Tornadoes, 5-yard penalty. Brings up a third and 15.
Now it's 3rd and 15. That's what I mean. We're making some dumb mistakes here. And 3rd and 15 is definitely not where you want to be. Here we are in the 39-yard line of Tamaqua. And now we set ourselves up for a long passing play once again to gain 15 yards. And you don't want to put any quarterback in that situation.
Each on the pitch to Vitero, bringing it around the left side. They try to do it with their speed, but he's run down by number 40, Mark Anusko. And I'll tell you what, Anusko is fast. He had the angle, but he came cutting across
one of their players is down over there. It's number 40.
That's Anusko.
He didn't get up after the play, and he's hurting down there.
Yeah, he's got it
did.
in the leg.
Although it looks like
A cramp.
Coach or Doc Greco's right on the spot there, and he's giving the old cramp hold. You're right. That's a cramp hold on the leg.
11 on the play brings up a
Fourth down for the Red Tornadoes.
Big play here, I think. Big play with 3 minutes and 43 seconds left in the third quarter.
Veach rolls right. Good rush on him, but he's got Jamin out there and just over his hands. So it'll be a first down for the Blue Raiders.
Blue Raiders take over 1st and 10.
Well, one of the problems we're starting to see now, and this was something you had to look at in the beginning of the game, the extreme heat, the oppressive heat, with a defense on the field as long as ours has been.
They have got to be getting tired.
They're starting to feel the effects now. They're not certainly not as good as they were in the beginning. They're on the field too long, and you get some of them in there who are going both ways, so it makes it even worse. They always say it's easier to go offense than it is defense. It's less tiring and taxing. So this group's got to start to wear down pretty soon, I would think.
Tamaqua has the ball in the 28, pitches out to Coleman, and a great
Good
play
play
made by number 53, Mike Fantanarosa.
The Fantan man. Good play. He's still fresh. I take that back about him.
Ronnie Zito, what he's trying to do now is put some different people, and Ronnie Zito coming in at left defensive end for Blasi. 2:57 left in the third quarter. Kruchek back to pass, looking down the middle to Anusko, and that time just over the reaches. Vitero covering pretty well that time. But they're the catches that he's made. I mean, they have been covered. There has been a tornado with them all along.
That Anushko, though, he fools you because he's a lot faster than you would think.
He's got some.
When you were outrunning Vitero, you were outrunning some speed there. I mean, that kid can motor, and he has good hands. He catches the ball falling down in awkward positions.
Yep.
He's the kind of receiver you like, a fast receiver, but he's a possession receiver. He's certainly given Vitero all he can handle in his first game as a defensive back. That's for sure. I don't think Mark will see another guy like him for a couple of games.
Anusko and Woodring split far right. He's coming his way to Anusko again. Greco on him this time. An interference on Anusko, but they didn't call it.
Now that's another case I don't think where either guy would have caught the ball. Anusko has another leg cramp.
Jamin's going to try to help him out.
Jamin just gave him some advice. I think he said take 2 aspirin and come back in the morning.
He's still talking.
Now he thinks he should add more aspirin.
I think he told him go over on the sideline.
Yeah, go over the
that's what he's
sideline
doing.
and stay there.
Vitero and Chicla deep.
Now it's 4th. I'm going to say that. You know they do this a lot too. I don't know.
They
If you're gonna
shift.
Punt, you might as well just punt. What's 5 yards going to get you?
Boy, no rush at all.
Oh.
Chicla takes it on the run,
Oh,
and
yes.
he holds it at the 48-yard line. And I'll tell you what, he saved the Tornadoes 20 yards by catching that ball.
I'll tell you what. I think he's got a suicide problem though. My goodness, he caught that ball, and that guy was within 5 yards of him rushing headlong.
First and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Tornadoes have a first down with 2:40 left in the third quarter. They're down 19-7, so they got to get something rolling soon, Warren.
I think Chicla Trockley is giving new words to the meaning fearless here. New meaning of the word fearless. My goodness.
New words to the meaning?
Yeah, new words to the meaning there.
No word of the week this week.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Vitero the ball carrier around the right side. Gain of about 5 yards.
Vitero being taken out of bounds. Number 60, Ron Riga, with help from Frank Krell.
Vitero took a shot after he kept running after the whistle, and he took a pretty good shot. He's limping back to the huddle right now. He's tippy-toeing right now, Warren. He goes to the wing. Greco goes to the tailback position. Sinkovic at the fullback. Veach on second down, gives the ball to Sinkovic up the middle, breaks it loose and gains about 8 yards.
Bring the ball up to about the 40-yard line.
Well, I'm not sure what.
Try 6 yards.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Vitero, but
And 52, Matt Gursky.
if he's now, see, I'm going to say they should be taking him out. Yeah, he's not doing anybody any good in there. I mean, it's admirable that he wants to stay in, but he's obviously hurting. They got to get him out of the game a little bit and see what happened to him.
He took a pretty good shot. I saw it. It was right after the whistle. He had started running again.
I'd have Doc Greco work his wonders on him, his magic, and he'll be all right.
Fantini went in.
Third down play for the Big Red. Fantini the ball carrier, and he stood up. I don't think they got it.
Up to the 39-yard line.
It's going to be where they mark the ball, Warren.
I think it's a case now where they're going to have to go for it. You have a minute and 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Where they place it.
Well, we're going to have a timeout here for a
It's
measurement.
going to be close, but I don't know. I don't think.
Fourth down and inches for the Tornadoes, and they're going to go for it.
Well,
1:15 left in the
I wonder,
third
though,
quarter.
we got the two smallest guys we have in the
In the
backfield.
backfield, when you could, I don't know, Warren.
Quarterback sneak.
First down, Bobby
All right.
got it.
Quarterback sneak.
Well, you don't need big guys in a quarterback sneak.
No,
but I
that's
think
why.
they would have figured that out too.
First down, Red Tornadoes.
I think anyway.
I would think. Jamin into the lineup for the Red Tornadoes for Belfani. Also Sinkovic back in.
Exactly a minute to go in the third quarter.
Ball on the 37-yard line, first and 10, Red Tornadoes.
I think Big Red needs to put the ball in the end zone on this drive to stay in this game.
Definitely.
I really do.
Veach rolling to his left, looking deep to Blossy. It's a flow. Oh, I'll tell you what, Blossy made a heck of an attempt to catch that ball.
Broken up by Kyle
Well, Woodward from Tamaqua area made a good play. He really did. You can't take anything away from that kid.
Well,
Great position, and
yeah.
he followed the ball, and he actually took it out of Blossy's hands as Blossy was falling down. That was a good play. on
Blossy
both
was
people.
out in front on
Yeah,
him.
both people made a good play.
Second down and 10 for the Red Tornadoes. 37 seconds left in the third quarter. Vici gives the ball to Sinkovic. Gain of about 3 yards. Stopped in there by number 60 of Tamaqua, Rega.
Wait and see this flag. It's going to go against us. Yeah.
We have a legal motion called against the Red Tornadoes.
I see these penalties now are killers. Now they're starting to hurt us. Now you're going to have second down and 15. And, it's just not an enviable position to be in.
They decline it. We're going to be looking at third down and about 8 yards to go. Well, we're in 4-down territory no matter what we do here.
I would have declined that, to tell you the truth. I don't think I would have.
No, because we're going to go 4 downs anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did that.
Vici rolling to his left. Looking to Jamin, and Jamin bumped by 31 Woodring, but
now that was a questionable call, maybe. There was some contact right as the ball, but it's not something you want to really argue about. It was just good, hard defense there, I would say. That brings up a 4th and 8 and a must down now for Big Red.
Ball's on the 36-yard line, 11 seconds. This will probably be the final play of the third quarter. Veach rolling to his right. Chiclet made a great block, but they're coming from all directions. And Veach is nailed at about the 44-yard line.
Dropped in his backfield for a loss back to the 49-yard line. Number 48, Mike Cotico is on the stop. 1st and 10, Tamaqua.
First down and 10, Tamaqua. The score, the Blue Raiders 19, the Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes 7. I know. Start of the fourth quarter, the Blue Raiders. Coleman, the ball carrier, stood up and dropped by a bunch of Tornadoes. We'll give you some numbers there shortly. Greco in on the tackle. Sheptok in on the tackle. Mike Fantanarosa down at the bottom of the pile. And Fantini. I said there was a bunch of them, French.
2nd and 10.
Wayne was smart. He wore shorts.
Yeah,
we should.
That's definitely true. It's not
second
down
and 9, 11-26, and Tamaqua will run the ball a couple times here to just try to get that. Bullock was in there and had him, but Coleman breaks it around the right side. Good for about an 8-yard gain. Stopped in there by Fantini and Sheptok.
Making the stop on Chris Woodring.
He did step out of bounds after only about 5 yards.
Well, that was certainly fortuitous for us. There it is.
The word of the week.
The word's been thrown out, fortuitous.
Woodring went out of bounds.
Third down and 4. Big play for the Tornado defense. Krujek back to pass. Good rush on him, but he got out of it, and now he lets one just hang out there, and that one will go out. Jamin and Anusko having words again. And also the official.
That was a three-way conversation.
It was a three-way conversation. All that's happening is Jamin's telling him, go on the sideline, put a little Bengay on that leg, and sit down.
Well, I'm not sure, but my bet is that the official had the last word in that conversation.
10:52 left in the game. We could sure use a run back here. Vitero and Trocchi deep for the Red Tornadoes. A bad snap. Get in the block it. Almost blocked, and it's a squibber. It's bouncing around, and it'll only be about a 10-yard kick and taken by Jamie Bullock, and then there was a face mask on top of it, but I don't know if that was real smart taking that ball right there.
I don't know what that was. What you didn't see on the back of the play a little bit, you're looking at Sinkovic and Anushko in a shoving match. So Anushko's really starting to have a problem out there with everybody.
Ball is spotted on the 43-yard line. 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Well, Big Red, if we're going to put him in, let's put him in here. Veach back into the lineup at quarterback for the Red Tornadoes.
This just isn't the situation you want to be in, though. You have a young quarterback, and the last thing you want to do is having to pass the ball to catch up in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's certainly not an ideal situation.
Veach on a straight drop back, looking to Blossy out on the sideline and just a little long.
Intended from Beach to Blossy, out of bounds, 2nd and 10.
Jim Fry went into the lineup replacing Klingerman on this play coming up. And I'll be truthful with you, I didn't see when Klingerman started playing offense.
I think maybe right there. I don't
switching
know
around
either.
there a little bit. You also have 82 in
Joel
the game.
Gonzalo into the lineup now for the Red Tornadoes.
How did you know that? His number's not even on the program.
Because I checked before the game who has the wrong numbers in the program.
Okay.
The only one
There is
I've
no
missed
82 in our
is number
program.
30 Gary Spears, because we have number 30 Gary Spears and we have number 30 Aaron Jamin. So we do have to check what Gary Spears' number is. Pass to Jamin, and that one didn't work at all.
And worse than
we
that,
have a flag on the
is
play,
down.
so we're going to have motion on the Red Tornadoes.
Illegal shift against Red Tornadoes.
Offensively, we are having our problems. We do want to take a minute here and tell you folks out there that for those of you who either had to go to someone's home or make a tape, if you wanted to see this broadcast, within the next couple of weeks, and we'll certainly alert you to the final minutes when it's going to occur, but Mount Carmel area WKMC-TV will begin to microwave their signal this season, and the entire school district will be capable of picking up this telecast. We're very excited about that here at the station.
Veach over to Vitero on the screen. He breaks it. He's down close to the first down, and I think he got it.
Well, I'll tell you what, number 67, Machuzak, has got to get some credit. He made
Nice
a great block. He really did. He's the one that made that play happen. He made a great block on a guy that was racing in for the tackle.
First and 10. Ball spotted on the 33-yard line of Tamaqua.
Gonzalo back into the lineup for Blossy, and they're using them in and out to give the play calling. Officials timeout for equipment. That's our first equipment adjustment this year.
First of 200, I would say, that will come throughout the year if it's like last year.
10:03 left in the game. This is one situation where the Tornadoes just have to get that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they need to score some points now. This is the time. or they're
Greco
gonna be
in
trouble.
motion. Veach rolling to his right. Looks over the middle to Jamin. Oh, just in and out of his hands. And Jamin looks like he took one on the hand. There were a couple helmets flying in there, and his hand took a good shot, but he's back up.
Well, I'm looking at that play. That's the second or third time we run that particular play. And he's well covered every time. Now, we throw the ball pretty well to him. Higgins threw the ball well on that pass. But where's the rest of the receivers? If there's three guys covering him coming out of there, there's got to be somebody open up on the back side of the play somewhere.
Well, let's watch next time. We'll have French watch for it.
Unless we have people staying in the block. That might be where we're losing him at.
Greco in motion. Greco to ball carrier. Voterio. Oh, and I'll tell you what. You have to give credit to Rega. That was a great play. He just blasted right in.
Lost back to the
I think he saw that one coming.
Well,
37-yard
offensively, they've rocked us back on our heels. They really have. We're having one heck of a time getting going.
Well,
here.
Rega's a seasoned senior for Tamaqua, and he read that one all the way. He's playing like left linebacker for Tamaqua. Greco goes in motion. Veach is going to roll to his right. Looking long. It's on a fly pattern to Greco, and boy, that one wasn't even in there too close.
Well, as I said, you're putting this quarterback in a very difficult position, having to pass under this kind of pressure. You know, it's a tough thing to do. 9 minutes and 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Score remains Tamaqua area 19, Mount Carmel area 7. Trocchi and Blossy return to the lineup. Joe Greco comes out. I didn't see who the other one that came out was. If nothing else, we're seeing a lot of different faces coming out
Well,
of this
fourth
lineup.
down situation. We have 4th down and 15 to go. 19-7, the Blue Raiders lead this one. Veach on the straight drop back. Looks over here and, Chiclet, nobody covered him. Oh! There were some hands in Bobby Veach's face, but Chiclet was wide open.
First and 10.
Now the defense is back in the field again, and again, this game is slowly slipping away from Mount Carmel area,
Well,
just as it had last year.
Right here, right now, we have to hold them to 4 plays, Warren.
Good
Nice
stop.
play made in there. Coleman was the ball carrier,
I
but
see
stopped by
Sinkovich is coming off that pile.
Sinkovich and also Mike Fantanarosa.
Santa Rosa and Klingerman on the stop for the Red Tornadoes. Gain of 1, second and 9.
.8:58 left in the ball game. Kruchek sets the Raiders. Coleman, the ball carrier, carries for about maybe 5 yards. Sinkovich in on the initial hit. Greco getting up down on the bottom.
Stop, ball up to the 45-yard line. Third and about 4.
Well, this is a big third down for the defense again, Warren.
3rd and 4, they can go either way here. They line up in a full house backfield.
They're going to pitch to Coleman, try that one around the right side.
70.
He stood up beautifully by number 70, Scott Paul.
Good play by Scotty. Good play by Scotty. That's going to force a kick here.
4th down, and they're going to kick.
Well, they did their job. The defense did what they needed to do, but the offense is going to absolutely have to get a little bit of momentum moving here with exactly 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Good defensive standing. That was one of the best defensive stands of the game so far, other than the very first one. 3 plays and done.
Flag on the play. And I'm not even sure what happened there unless the center picked up the ball because
Flag down.
Well, Tamaqua was walking back, so it's going to go
that's
against
all it
him.
could
I
have
don't
been.
know what they're calling.
Well, nobody was even set, so he picked the ball up. And
Yeah, I don't know what they're calling there. Illegal procedure covers a multitude of sins on that one, so I'm not sure who they saw do what there. It wasn't an obvious call.
No, Trocchi and Vitero deep for the Red Tornadoes. Snaps back. Nice spiraling kick taken by Vitero. Oh, great tackle made in there by number 32, Coleman.
Number
33.
No, 33.
Kyle
Woodward.
Defensive stop.
They've got some nice players here. They got some good skilled players on this team. That was good individual effort there. That's all that was.
7:32 left in the ball game.
On the 25-yard line.
Veach back in at quarterback for the Red Tornadoes. Vitero, the ball carrier, for about a 2-yard loss.
Tamaqua area is fired up now. I mean, they have all the momentum is now on their side. Defensively, they're handling the line of scrimmage. They really are. We're unable to move. We're unable to do anything right now.
Greco out of the lineup for the Red Tornadoes, replaced by Chiclet Trocchi. Trocchi in motion, pitch back to him. Looking for the hole, breaks it up through, and there he goes, and he's straightened up for after he got about a 7-yard gain on that.
Boy, for a little guy, I'll tell you, he is one powerful little mite when he gets going.
35, Jeff Lewis on the stop.
I think at the end of the play, he was trying to find somebody to hit the way he looked there.
he found a nice hole. Well, you know what they did? They got his hand, and when you hurt your hand, you want to hit somebody.
I don't know. He doesn't seem like he wants to go through the play without at least whacking somebody once as he goes through.
6 minutes left in the game. 3rd down and 1 for the Red Tornadoes. Sinkovich and Vitero in the backfield. Sinkovic the ball carrier, and somebody got plowed over there. Sinkovic still carrying the ball. Oh, what great effort by Joey Sinkovic.
Fabulous.
One great effort. The line was blown out.
Fabulous play.
The offensive line was blown out.
Complete individual
Joey
effort.
Sinkovic, and he did it last year for us. What great running by Joe Sinkovic. He's not the prettiest runner in the world, but he is hard.
Oh, he's a
wants that
hard-nosed
goal line.
runner. His legs never stop. We saw that last year. That was truly individual effort there. 'Cause
Individual
he had no
effort
help
by
going along
Joey
on that-
Sinkovic.
on the right side there.
5:33 left in the game. Running out of time here, Warren. Little motion there. Beach back to throw. You're going to continue to play. Almost intercepted by Tamaqua. Two people. 31 in touching the ball first was Woodring, and then also Frank Krell, number 21.
Again, we must have seen 1st and 15, 2nd and 15
Oh, quite
about
a few
100
times, right.
tonight. It's amazing.
That's hurt a lot.
You know, we've been in this hole now, it seems like, for the whole game.
5:22 left in the game. Oh, and we're just jumping in there now. That one's another one on the Red Tornadoes, and that one seemed to be
Illegal procedure against the Red
The-
Tornadoes, another 5-yard penalty. Brings up a 1st and 20 from the 49.
Veach back to throw on the straight drop back. Looking downfield to Trockey and just out of the reaches.
Pass intended for Trockey, falls incomplete.
Well, you know, again, you're in a case. You're 2nd and 20, 1st and 20, 4th quarter. You're down 12 points. They know what you're going to do. It's a difficult thing, especially in the first game. Your timing's not all together there. You know, the time between the quarterback and a receiver. This is just a very difficult position to find ourselves in here in the 4th quarter, and we're not looking like we're doing it, like we're going to make a big move here. You know, that's the sad part at the moment.
Veach to Trockey, could be a lateral.
You got to be
I think
careful
it's going to
there.
be.
That is. Oh yeah, that
Well,
was
the
a backward lateral.
Yeah.
Pass recovered by
Now we're going to have about 3rd and
back on the 43-yard line.
All right.
3rd and 27,
3rd and 23.
23.
Well, we've disintegrated offensively. That's the best way to call this game. The offensive line just didn't do a good job. They really didn't. They've been pushed around the field a little bit here tonight.
Timeout.
Timeout, Red Tornadoes.
4:36 left in the game. Timeout, Tornadoes. 3rd down and 23 for the Red Tornadoes. Veach back to throw. Looks at Jamin cutting across, and he gets out of bounds after about a.
That was a good pass.
That was probably about a 16-yard gain, but they're still going to have 4th down and 5.
That was a good pass, though. On the run, he spotted a receiver, and he threw it perfectly.
7-yard line. Brings up a 4th and 5.
Well, we're going to have to start working this clock. We're going to have to get them out of bounds, throw passes that they get out on the sideline, and try to, come back and throw 2 quick ones in here, Warren. 4th down. The line's coming. They have a blitz on. Here they come. Looks over the head of Trockey and just out of the reaches.
That Trockey falls incomplete. 1st and 10, Tamaqua takes over.
Well, that's pretty much that's going
about
to be the
finishes it
death
right
knell
there, right.
right now. It's over. In 4 minutes and 21 seconds, it's going to take a miracle now to come back so quickly. Defensively, we were burned a couple of times in that first half on a long pass, which hurt. But after that, I mean, the defense didn't play all around that badly, I don't think. But the offense, after the first drive, was never in the game. That was the only time they showed anything.
Well, there were a
this entire
couple
game.
great plays by Kruchek, by Anusko, by Coleman, the tailback. Just a couple things that were done by Tamaqua, done well. And not discounting the Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes, but just saying that the Tamaqua did a great job. Sinkovic and Greco on the stop.
From Sinkovic. Number 32, Coleman was the ball carrier.
4:04 left in the ball game.
No gain on the play, brings up a 2nd and 10.
Tamaqua taking their time, getting the line, trying to use up all the time they can to drag this clock down. It's down to 3:40 now. Kruchek hands the ball. Well, fakes the handoff, throws a fly pattern to number 1, Ray. How'd you say that? Kachora. Remember the guy we didn't know? Kajora.
Oh, and that was an odd call there. I mean, I guess they were just trying to catch us off balance a little bit. But it's an odd call to stop the clock like that.
Yeah, he should. That was a one that wasn't too smart.
Brings up 3rd and 10 now, but the clock again is not running with 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, we have a Tamaqua injury right now also. Kruchek shaken up on the play. Number 31, Chris Woodring, replaces him. This will only be for one play, though, because Kruchek looks like he's up and running around, and he'll be back in the game. Woodring takes a snap, takes the ball himself, and stopped by Fantanarosa. 4th down.
Stop on Woodring on the keeper. Loss on the play of the yard brings up a 4th and 11.
Deep Trocchi and Vitero. Tamaqua in punt formation. Delay a game. They were trying to draw the Red Tornadoes off, but I don't know really why, because it was a 12. Or no, they were running the clock down.
Right.
What they were doing.
That's all they're doing. You know, they'll.
Almost blocked. And it's down on the 48-yard line.
Who blocked
was in
that?
on that
Any
one?
ideas? 60.
No, Jason Klingerman.
Klingerman got a hand on there anyway.
He got a hand on it.
1st and 10, Red Tornadoes on the 50.
Veach back in as quarterback. Blasi, Klingerman going in now. Jamin in the lineup. First down and 10, 2:38 left in the ball game. Blue Raiders 19-7. Veach back, and he's creamed by number 34 from Tamaqua, Rob Hummel, a sophomore.
Well, I'm going to tell you what.
I think what they're doing now is just putting some fresh blood in the
well, they got
charge.
Veach down too. He got hit hard. He's down now. We're going to have to see what he's. I mean, he's definitely hurt.
I think it was the helmet, Wayne, that came into and got him in the shin. Bobby Veach leaves the Tornado lineup, not under his own power, and that's sad.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
And once the clock started, Ed Kazmarek working the clock for the Red Tornadoes tonight. Second down and about 20. Higgins on the straight. He rolls a little bit right, tucks the ball around. He's going to run with it, and he's taken down after no yards gained. 1:54 left in the ball game.
3rd and 17.
Higgins sets the Red Tornadoes on the 44-yard line. He's on a rollout to his left. Oh, man, he was nailed in there by number 34. The ball stripped, again, by Rob Hummel, the sophomore. And he came in late in the 4th quarter. I think Whitey Williams looking to get some speed out of a rush. And Hummel came through and produced for him.
Well, it's a disappointing loss. Absolutely a disappointing loss. There are not going to be a lot of bright spots in the films, guys, when they show this one on Monday. Believe me, not a lot of bright spots.
Quarterback sneak.
52
seconds left. 19-7, the Blue Raiders.
Krusek on a quarterback keeper, picks up a yard. Santana Rose on a stop, brings up a 2nd and 9. Timeout, Red Tornadoes.
41 seconds left in the ball game. Krusek downs the ball.
Krusek downing the ball, brings up a 3rd and 12.
3rd down and 12.
28 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the game. At 24 seconds, the whistle blew, so we won't see another snap after this, ladies and gentlemen.
Krusek's telling them we're not going to do it anymore, guys. That's it. He's standing them up. Down to 10 seconds. Tamaqua fans begin to count it off. 8, 6, 3. And that's it. Tamaqua has won it. Whitey Williams has done it again. 2 years in a row. He got his first in Tamaqua last year and now has come down to Mount Carmel and done it here at the Silver Bowl. Well, Warren, that wraps it up, and I think one sight I just saw wraps it up even more. One lone red balloon sailing up from the lights of the Silver Bowl.
Well, as I said in the fourth quarter, this loss is disappointing. Last year we went up to Tamaqua. They gave us a good beating. The score wasn't that big, but they manhandled us. But we said then they're young, a lot of players in new positions. Well, that's not the case this year. That line especially, some of those kids have been playing football for 3 years for us. They were not in the game tonight offensively, except for the first series. They should be embarrassed for what they did. I mean, we're going to call it the way it is this time. They did not have their heads in the football game, and it's not a case of being young. It's not a case of learning. It's a case of not executing. They were rocked on their heels. They were offside. They made dumb penalties, dumb mistakes. It's not going to work that way with a schedule. We go up to Panther Valley next week. Traditionally a tough team in the last 10 years or so for us. Then you're looking at Williamsport and Shamokin. If this team doesn't get their head on their shoulders and get playing football, it's going to be a long, long season, Bob.
It's a long road ahead of them. They throughout the training camp this year, though, lots of questions of who's playing where and everything. And I think now maybe, after this first game under their belt, the first loss under their belt, we can regroup a little bit, get some people playing in different positions, and see what happens from there.
Well, certainly, you've got to go in. You've got to go into that locker room on Monday for that film session, and now Coach Dimick's going to have to say to himself and his staff, some people didn't produce here, and some people aren't going to play next week, and maybe even the coaching staff's going to have to say, maybe we didn't produce. This team was not ready to play football. It's as simple as that. You sat in the stands. They were not ready to play a football game, and unfortunately, once again, as in last year, they opened the season with a quality football team. You play a good football team in the first game of the season, you're not ready to play, you lose again. Now we open the season once again 0-1, and it's not a good position to be in, let's face it.
Well, we'll be up in Panther Valley next week, one of our favorite stadiums to do a broadcast from. I mean, I think last year, and poor David here, he'll have about that one big giant pole on the 50-yard line. That takes place of about 6 plays of the game is ruined because there's this giant pole in front of us. And we'll broadcast from the stands, and our director here, he loves that stadium right there.
It's a real beauty, but what are you going to do?
But we'll be back with you next week. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Good night.